Hey everyone, I'm Summer. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about visibility that actually converts, relationships that actually matter, and authority that's built on purpose. This is a part of my Teach Me Something playlist, all real conversations with the real people who challenge the status quo and show you smarter ways to grow your business or improve your life. My guest today is Jacqueline Pendleton. She is a health and movement coach, and also she coaches on autoimmune conditions. She's a specialist and been one over like 38 years. In her experience helping women, those over 50 especially, regain their strength and confidence and energy. She, after experiencing burnout, hormonal shifts, and unexplained weight gain despite doing everything, realized that many women are also facing the same struggle. So today, through her full body renovation method, she helps women understand what's really happening in their bodies. She helps them rebuild their health through movement, through stress regulation, and sustainable goals. Now, Jacqueline, I want to start with something that you say that totally reframes how women think about their bodies. The idea of being stuck in a holding pattern. So what do you actually mean when you say that? And how does stress put your body in that state where things just stop responding the way it used to?
Well, I sort of liken the body to a car,
Hmm.
okay? And the inner core is the chassis of the car, and the outer core is the body of the car. And so basically, what happens is, we've done different things like different sports when we were children, and we get muscle imbalances, or we're right-handed, we're left-handed, and we favor one side. And so, therefore, what happens is then we start creating muscle imbalances, or we've ended up with an injury and you go and see a therapist like a chiropractor, an osteopath, a physiotherapist, and they
Mm-hmm.
do an adjustment
Hmm.
because your body gets stuck in a holding pattern. So it actually gets stuck
Hmm.
in that way of doing things based on your
Hmm.
muscle imbalances. So you have an adjustment
Hmm.
with the therapist, but then it just goes back out. And so what happens with stress metabolically, especially if somebody's got issues going on with their gut, because the gut
Hmm.
and the core are on the same neurological switch or switchboard, or
Hmm.
neurological loop, sorry, or switchboard. And so therefore, that affects their body structurally. Okay, a bit like if the engine wasn't running well and you were running out of gas or the spark plugs weren't firing properly, I'm just likening it so it makes sense.
Yeah, it
Then
does.
therefore, it affects the structure of the car and the body of the car. It doesn't work as efficiently. So it
Hmm.
all of those things interconnect because your body works as a unit. And what I
Mm-hmm.
always say is your body really doesn't have a sense of humor. It just does what it does.
Beautiful. Yes. And that explains so much like why some women experience something that they just cannot put a name to, right? You also talk about something else that you call inner unit or inner core, which is, I think, not the same as what people think when they think core strength. So, what exactly is inner core and why is it so important, especially for us women over 40?
Well, inner core or inner unit, and this is very specialized. And I actually did this training because I had three C-sections and a
Mm,
fractured tailbone on delivery. But I said, keep calm, carry on, and have another three children. So four children, and what because of the fact it affected me, and then I sort of trained in this area.
mhm,
So the inner unit is several muscles. So it's the TVA, transverse abdominis, which runs along the bikini line. That
mhm.
generally gets cut if you have a hysterectomy
Yeah.
or you have a C-section, etc. Pelvic floor,
Mm,
the back stabilizers level with the belly button behind,
mm,
and the diaphragm. So generally, as we age, we tend to breathe. We're on our computers all the time. We tend to sort of get forward head posture. We get a bit of a hump on the back of our neck, dowager's
mhm,
hump. Okay, and so that's what happens, and people don't really understand. It's not about doing a whole load of sit-ups
mhm,
because that's strengthening the body of the car. It's not strengthening the chassis of the car.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
So does that make sense? That's what the inner core is. It's like a
100%.
non-surgical, it's like a non-surgical corset. My
Mm,
clients refer to that as that. Like it's
mm,
from the belly button round the back to the belly button. So if you see a lot of like weight trainers, weightlifters using a
mhm,
weight belt, a lot of
mm.
people go to the gym and they use a weight belt. That's the worst thing you can do. Same as a back support. Because what it does is your body thinks, oh, okay, I don't actually have to do any work because your body's
Mm,
generally quite lazy.
mm,
What I'll do is because you've already given me the tools, as in a belt, I won't
mm,
actually bother stabilizing, and that's when somebody ends up with a back issue. So usually, if somebody's got back problems, it's because the inner core's not working. So you've got to strengthen
mm,
that first,
mm,
and then you build on that. You know, a bit like a house, you need a strong frame
mm,
before you can put all of the different things on the house, because if you don't, it'll just fall
mm,
down like a pack of cards.
mm. So how would I go about strengthening that inner core?
I
Is it
think the
something
thing
as
is,
basic as breathing patterns? No.
generally, if I've worked with, yeah, breathing, so it starts with the breathing. So the
Mm,
diaphragm
mm,
creates toning the abdominal wall. So, say, for instance, if somebody's walking or running, every
mm,
time they strike the pavement, you want to disperse those forces away from the spine,
mm,
okay, and create stability.
mm,
So, therefore, the breathing creates tone in the abdominal wall. It's a bit like if you blow up a balloon and you let out the air all of a sudden,
mm,
there's nothing there. So
mm,
you've got to create that stability. So
mm,
starting with the breathing, using diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing, breathing through the belly, and starting to learn how to do that because that retrains the core muscles. And there's certain other things that you can do
mm,
as well, but starting with the breathing, because then what will happen is then the rib cage will open and
mm.
then you will stand up straighter, okay, and it will
Improve your
create that
posture.
stability. But it'll improve your posture.
Mm,
It's not about standing military, and obviously that will be depend on what somebody's posture is. You
mhm,
know, I work a lot with therapists. I work a
mm,
lot with chiropractors, osteos, physiotherapists, and see what they're doing, and then really it's working with that. But it's about training it from the inside out. Okay.
mm,
And so
mm,
because the gut and the core are on the same neurological loop, what
mm,
happens is also that it calms your nervous system down from the
mm.
breathing, helps reduce stress, and helps the gut to work better in combination with other strategies.
Wow. And I go to my local gym and I wouldn't say my what do you call them? My trainers are as experienced or knowledgeable as you. A lot of women are having problem with the advice that they get. This question is going to be big, I think, because a lot of women they've been given advice by our trainers saying that you just need to do more ab exercises, honey. So why is that often? Why does that miss what really is going on in the body?
I think the thing is that somebody turns up to the gym, they might have put some weight on. And I mean, I gained 15 kilos on a racing out rate from
Hmm.
stress, and I pretty much built my program from it. And I
Hmm.
knew what to do.
Hmm.
Okay. My doctor said to me, oh, well, it's just one of those things. You're gaining a middle age spread.
Hmm.
But, you know, it's not. You know your own body. You're the one sitting in it every day.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think you go to the gym, and I see this a lot. Even when I've gone and worked out in gyms, I almost feel like I put a piece of leather between my teeth when I see what they're doing. You
Hmm.
know, it's they say that somebody's overweight and they go, oh, you need to sort of exercise more and eat less, and their body's already, you know, the body's
Hmm.
already literally under stress
Hmm.
already. So
Hmm.
this is quite a specialized area, but at the gym and in the fitness industry generally,
Hmm.
they're strengthening the outer body of the car, not the inner core. So
Yes.
they're not actually strengthening the inner core, which is the actual bit that's the most important thing.
Hmm.
Okay, because it is quite a specialized thing. You might come
Hmm.
across a trainer like that, but I think with working with trainers, and I mean, I've been a personal trainer for 18 years, or I call
Hmm.
myself a holistic movement coach,
Hmm.
generally, because when people think about personal trainer, they usually want to run 5 kilometers in the opposite direction. You know, because of that in the
Hmm.
fitness industry and Biggest
Hmm.
Loser and all that, it's really given a lot of trainers a bad reputation. They were not all
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
I think it's just that trainer's job is to actually listen to that person. And so if you were paying that person, I would say,
Hmm.
you're actually not listening to me because you're the client. It's not about me, it's actually about the person
Hmm.
and their goals. So I think that if you're getting that, I think it's just really working with somebody who is older
Hmm.
for a start off if you're going to a gym.
Hmm.
Uh, if you're a woman, because you know, being a woman, you can understand being a woman because you are a woman. You know, because even though I see guys and trainers online doing stuff around menopause and stuff, it's completely different for men.
Yeah.
So I just think really understanding that. Does that sort of answer your question?
Absolutely, yes. Like my husband eats like a gazillion eggs and meat and vegetables and pizzas and whatever, and then loses a pound, while I just inhale an egg and I gain a pound.
Yeah. The thing about men is because we have built-in flotation devices and we've got a lower we're designed to give birth and we're designed to do different things
Yeah.
hormonally.
Mm,
Men have a higher muscle to fat ratio
mm,
than women.
mm,
So therefore, they only need to take a deep breath and they actually lose weight. I've had people
mm,
go through my program and the husband has gone through it as well,
mm,
or
mm,
partner, and they're like, "Oh, I've lost 6 kilos and now my trousers are falling down." And the woman's
mm.
saying, "Shut up, will you?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that's what's happening. But and this is the thing where women get fearful of building muscle and
Mm,
tone as they
mm,
age. But you do need to strengthen around ligaments, joints, and tendons. And so therefore, if you build more muscle, it's not like turning into Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything. Your body then starts to work for you. So for me, it's really about teaching people to use their body as a tool,
mm,
starting with that
mm,
inner core and
mm,
then building on that stronger. And then
mhm.
you can do more. Then you're more mobile. You can do a lot more.
Yeah.
You can skip down the road. You can get up and down off the beach or the couch. It's not a weight thing. It's a mobility thing.
Hmm. And circling back to childbirth and C-sections and even older injuries that continue to affect your inner core and posture years later. How can somebody repair that? Like, say a 55-year-old woman had an injury in 40 when she was 40 or 45, and now she just doesn't want to exercise or doesn't know how to lose weight or doesn't know how to get back in shape or repair her posture. What do you recommend for a client like that?
I think the thing is, it can become overwhelming. And I think as women, we do have a tendency to turn into the circus trainer
Hmm.
while we're running back and forth and can you just, and then you're doing something, and
Hmm.
kids and grandkids and extended family, even if somebody hasn't got any children, but they've got extended family and they've got this, that, and the other. And it
Hmm.
does feel overwhelming. So
Hmm.
if they've got stress issues, I would start thinking about breathing correctly and then
Hmm.
just starting to do something just
Okay.
starting to do something. It is really about taking responsibility.
Hmm.
Because unfortunately there is no magic pill. I'd put a tiara on and have my wand and say you will go to the ball, but there isn't one. Um, because if there was a
Hmm.
magic pill, I probably would be in the queue pushing you out the way to get it. It
Hmm.
is really about, but it's starting with one or two things. If somebody's got structural problems, first of all, going to a therapist
Hmm.
and seeing if there's any underlying issues,
Hmm.
and then really starting to strengthen that core, starting with the breathing. I mean, things like Pilates, yoga, those things are really, really good, but it's really about learning how to engage correctly
Hmm.
in regards to the core work.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's make this practical for anyone listening who's wondering, like, if this might be affecting them. What are some signs that somebody's inner core is not functioning properly? The things that they might notice, like in everyday life, but they don't know what it is.
Or if they haven't obviously got anything going on with them, like fibromyalgia, polymyalgia, lupus, any autoimmune diseases,
Hmm.
okay? Or
Hmm.
they've had breast cancer, because even if
Hmm.
somebody's got a lymphedema or breast cancer,
Hmm.
that can affect the inner core as well, because your body
Hmm.
works as
Hmm.
a unit.
Yes.
The neck
Hmm.
bone's connected to, that song, it was all true,
Hmm.
sort of thing. So what the biggest signs really is that you've had children or you've had scar tissue, you've had a hysterectomy, or you've got scar tissue in the abdominals, and you can't seem to hold yourself. You
Hmm.
start ending up with incontinence. You
Hmm.
can't jump on a trampoline with your grandchildren, or you've got to be careful if or you sneeze or whatever. That's one of the first signs of the fact that
Hmm.
your inner core's not working correctly.
Hmm.
So you've basically got an oil leak. You've got an oil
Thankfully,
leak
it
going
feels
on.
like my core is fine right now, but if I don't take care of myself, it's going to get out of control soon.
So it's just really about doing that. And look, I've worked with people who've got incontinence
Mm,
problems, including my 88-year-old mother,
mm,
and we actually have managed to reduce that, where
mm,
she could hold herself for a lot longer and wasn't out having to wear as many pads. I mean, and she's 88, so it doesn't really matter how old you are. You can do something about it, because with the
mm,
pelvic floor, and there's a lot known
mhm,
about that,
mm,
it has to work in combination with those other muscles because it works as a unit. Right, so it's got to
mhm,
work in so you can squeeze. I know that sometimes online they sell those things where you basically using it like a tampon and you're squeezing away for it to help improve your pelvic floor. But you actually need to do it in combination. So even if you did the pulling up the pelvic floor muscles with the breathing in combination, okay. And I mean, I also teach the breathing on all fours in a mirror so that then when you breathe in, your belly drops down. And when you breathe out, your belly comes up. It's the opposite to what you think breathing is, using your diaphragm. So, yeah, that's what I would say there. Hopefully
What
that
a
made sense
wonderful.
and I went round the
It does make sense. And because I used to teach pranayama and it's ancient Indian breathing techniques, that
right.
totally fits in with what I learned and what I used to teach like a quarter century ago. So,
Right.
Jackie, this has been a super conversation. And you guys, if this spoke to you, connect with Jackie. All her links are right below. And Jackie, do you have any gift from my audience?
Yeah, so I've actually got a postural assessment and a core assessment where I can give you some strategies
Mm-hmm.
to go forward. To go forward, and you can actually book that with me. And even though this is online, I've looked at I lost a lot of postural issues, and there I will ask you different questions about whether you've seen any specialists, and you can send me some reports as part of that, and then I can analyze those and actually give you a strategy going forward.
Beautiful. You guys, this is a good gift. The link is down below. Grab it, connect with Jackie on LinkedIn, explore her work, and help yourself take care of your body again. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and don't miss the next Teach Me Something episode. Every conversation I have with wonderful people here is about reclaiming parts of yourself that make you more alive and more powerful. See you in the next one. Jackie, thank you. Thank you for being here.
It's been fantastic. Thank you.